Mitch McConnell is leaving us. Well, actually not. He's actually going to stay in the Senate, supposedly. But is stepping down as Republican leader in the Senate. I think there are probably individuals who have done more harm to the country, but I'm not 100% sure who they would be.
Dick Cheney?
Dick Cheney. I mean, Dick Cheney really did a lot of the harm to like other countries.
Yeah, Kissinger too.
In many respects. Right. I mean, Kissinger as well. But in terms of like fundamentally altering the trajectory of the judiciary in this country for decades, I don't know if there's a single individual who's had more impact than Mitch McConnell. When he refused to give Merrick Garland any type of hearing, and then Barack Obama refused to understand that this was politics he was engaged in, and decided like, okay, well, whatever you say. Mitch McConnell has been very adept at playing against an adversary that is super, super weak. Even if it's not as, differentiated as people wanted. But the next question is, are we going to get like a MAGA, full-on Trump loving senator? Or are we going to get a supposedly non-MAGA who's just going to behave in every single way as if he loved Donald Trump?
Except like the differentiator will be, do you support funding for Ukraine or do you not? Like that's in part what it is. And that's basically it though.
Right. That's true. Oh, here he is on with Mike Braun.
Maria Bartiromo. Yeah. Bartiromo asks Mike Braun about like what Mitch McConnell should do next.
How this plays out, do you believe you will have a new leader in place before November, or are we going to see Mitch McConnell with 1 foot in and 1 foot out of America First policies? Because your colleagues are criticizing Mitch McConnell for always working with the Democrats.
Well, I mean, I think that it would be a cleaner cut if we had somebody in before that. If he does decide to stick through November, I think he needs to come out strongly for Trump, even though he might have to bite his tongue to do that. It's clear that in 15 and 16, when he came on the scene, Maria, half the country was fed up with this place. And when you see it up close like I do, it's worse than what you can imagine. So don't fight it. You got to go along with it, even if they don't get along as personalities. If we do anything that splinters the thin margin we might have, polling kind of leaning in our favor, it'll be another political disaster. He needs to come around fully behind. Nikki Haley needs to get out of the race.
Pause it for 1 second. Like, I can't even understand what this guy's saying relative to the question. He's just simply saying that Mitch McConnell. The question was, are you going to get somebody else new in here? And he says, I don't know, but Mitch McConnell's got to come out and support Donald. Why would Mitch McConnell do anything for Donald Trump right now? He's stepping down from...
for the sake of the party. For the sake of the party. That's what he would say. But Mitch McConnell, a reminder, warned at the beginning and was a part of like the efforts to combat Trump from being the nominee, said that this is going to be the death of the Republican Party. So...
leaning in our favor, it'll be another political disaster. He needs to come around fully behind. Nikki Haley needs to get out of the race. Look at what was working pre-Biden. Everything was working well. We don't have that now.
Yeah, and
everything was working well for the Republicans pre-Biden. I don't know about that, buddy, but I just like the phrasing of don't fight it, go along with it. Like just submit, Mitch McConnell.
He might have to bite his tongue.
What's more interesting to me about this, and it may be a little bit early to tell. This could be just people bullshitting back and forth with each other. But if there is going to be a fight that is significant enough. I mean, McConnell is going to try and put his guy in, who's probably John Thune, right? And I mean, Thune has been, I think, his whip, or is he number 2 now?
So Thune is number 2, and then it's Cornyn, and then Barrasso.
So
the 3 Johns.
Yeah, and I think he wants Thune in there. If not, then Cornyn. And he probably does not want Barrasso.
Barrasso is the most Trump friendly.
And it's going to be interesting to see how much of a fight there is. Maybe they're just setting it up like they'll split the baby and go with Cornyn. But it'll be interesting to see if this turns into if this fight. And it's also interesting to me that he's waiting till after the election to do this, or as opposed to, let's say, January, like he said, November.
Right.
If this fight breaks out into the open, it'll be interesting to see what happens with that.
And it seems that, like, as Braun is sort of alluding to, but also seemingly others like Rick Scott and JD Vance have alluded to as well, is that they're basically saying if we can find the minority against McConnell, if we can find a consensus, why wait around till the election and just make sure that we have a candidate ready to go? So they're sort of trying to see if they could find anybody that would be kind of willing to vocally challenge McConnell pre-November to basically be like, we have somebody waiting in the wings.
Well, because they know their greatest leverage is in the run-up to the election.
Right.
If Trump loses, McConnell can do somebody else.
That's a good point.
And so
if they had the person already in it,
if there's no Trump,
a little for them.
John Barrasso ain't going anywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Anybody associated with Trump is going to be gone, or is going to have less power. And so
this is their opportunity to get the Trump
this is
guy
the way
in.
to leverage Trump's existence now. And it'll be interesting to see if they how much influence they have.
Yeah. Don't fight it. You got to go along with it. That's what he says.
There's some clamoring for Steve Daines, who took over the NRSC from Rick Scott.
Oh my God!
Because
really?
he's super pro-Trump, always has been, and has been kind of doing the wrangling between Trump and the Senate for the competitive seats. So
I mean,
keep an eye out on Steve Daines of Montana.
Folks, that's all our time. I'm going to have to end the phone call portion of our program. Tomorrow we will have a little more time. We've got a quick interview on New York State Democrats. In fact, we'll have a lot of time.
We're going to see if we can find maybe somebody else to talk about the redistricting stuff. But Alex Salmon couldn't make it tomorrow.
oh, dang.